Let's go ahead and talk about Dragon Ball Super episode 115. Hope you guys enjoy this. If you do wind up enjoying it, subscribe if you're new. In this episode, we got to see the return of Ultra Instinct. Basically, this episode was a Goku and Kefla Slugfest. Yes, Slugfest because they just went back and forth. There was a few different sequences in there that I really enjoyed, such as when, in the beginning of that, she just grabs him by the legs and just starts twirling him around and then throws him. I'm like, damn, bro, you gonna let her body you like that? And then he comes back, and he ultimately gets her with that hook shot in the gut. And, well, Shampoo's like, I'm not gonna forgive you if you lose. And, of course, in typical Shampoo fashion, he gets really loud and she tells him to shut up, basically. But aside from that, nothing else really happens here. But I do want to point out a couple of things. So the episode makes it a point to say, like, probably 20 times, and that's a bit of an exaggeration, but you get my point. They make it a point to say that Goku is weak. Basically, Goku is still kind of suppressed. He's low on stamina. He can't maintain his forms and things of that nature. You see that a little bit later on when he gets hit one time and gets instantly knocked out of Blue Kaioken towards the end. And Beerus also said, hey, you know that you have to finish this in one shot. So Goku really didn't have it. And that seems to be the catalyst for Goku going Ultra Instinct. Because I feel like, being at that limit, saying, hey, I'm out of energy, I can't do anything more, is really what happens there, because he's about to be depleted and he just taps into this other energy, probably subconsciously, and it just spurs him into it, which is a really cool concept, honestly, to say that, again, he's out of stamina, he can't do anything more. Of course, stamina and ki are a little bit different, but you get my point. Anyways, he's at that limit, and then he just finds a way to break through that wall. And Whis has an interesting line in there. He's like, hey, he did it again. I didn't expect to see that happen again. And Beerus is like, hey, let's see what Ultra Instinct can do, because this guy, okay, I'm dialing it back. He went ahead and Kefla used her same attack like 17 times in this episode, by the way, and they legit used that same animation over and over and over, but it wasn't too bad. It's not that big of a deal, but it used starting the ball thing from her belly and then ending up in her hands, whatever was happening there. I saw it like 5 times probably, but anyways, at the end when she throws it and Goku's like, nah, not hitting me, bruh, and he just pulls the Matrix on her and just finessed all those energy balls, and that was it, man. In all seriousness, though, I don't really have anything in particular that I didn't like. The only thing I really don't like, I guess, that's kind of been going on is the fact that they're spending so much time with Goku. Of course, Goku's the main character, so it's to be expected, right? But they're not really wrapping up that whole Namekian side of things. It's just like been going nonstop, and I kind of struggle to understand how Gohan is just not bodying those guys, right? Because it seems like all 4 of them are on equal levels, which would be fine by me, but it was made pretty apparent that Gohan is more powerful than Piccolo. So I don't know why Gohan isn't just bodying them. I think it's probably because Gohan has been like completely tired. He's been run into the ground, and they made it a point to say that too, that Gohan and Piccolo themselves are pretty low on stamina, but I don't know. Maybe he's just not powered up. I mean, it is what it is. We got to see the Masenko, but, I don't know. Again, they're spending so much time. At least, okay. I do have one thing. At least we're not seeing Ribrianne. We haven't seen her in a few weeks, and that's been great. That's been so nice. We saw Heles, I think is the name of her god of destruction. And, that reminds me, so I'll get back to that in a minute. But, yeah, I don't know. I just hope they wrap that up soon, whether Gohan and Piccolo win or lose. But basically, Universe 6 is fighting Universe 7 at this point. That's all that's really happening between the Kefla and Goku and then the Namekian, Piccolo, and Gohan stuff. So, anyways, one really big thing that happens is Zeno decides, which a lot of us thought this would happen, Zeno decides that it is okay for them to use Potara. Now, this does not guarantee that we will see a Gogeta or a Vegito, which, of course, Vegito would be the one that comes out of the Potara, but, maybe things change and happen a little bit differently. I don't know. Just wanted to throw both names out there because with this show, anything could happen. But that being said, that doesn't mean that we will see Vegito via Potara Fusion or anything like that. Don't want to jump the gun. It's still way too early for that. And in fact, I think that idea gets kind of shot down whenever Whis says, hey, keep in mind that it's cool to be able to combine 2 fighters into one, but you're also risking losing 2 fighters at once. And that's why Champa's like, or excuse me, Beerus was like, hey, we're not going to do that. So, again, maybe in the future they change up, but I feel like this is just Ultra Instinct. It's going to be all Goku Ultra Instinct, and that's just kind of where this is going to end. A lot of people wanted to see Gohan and the Goku-Gohan fusion because it did seem like Gohan was going to have a prominent role. They have completely moved away from Gohan's character. It is, if you watch this, like, since, like, a little bit before the special, because they had to build up to the special with the Goku-Jiren fight, it's literally been nothing but Goku. And, of course, they have the Vegeta-Topo stuff going on the side just to say Vegeta's doing something. And, of course, they cut to Frieza occasionally, but it's all Goku at this point. Nobody else is doing anything at all. So they've completely moved away from Gohan's character. You know, and that is kind of unfortunate because they did seem like they were going to build his character up in this and did talk him up a lot, right, by making him the captain and all those other insignificant things along with the rules. So the rules just simply, I don't even know what the point was at all in establishing like half the rules that they did, because they're just going to get the creed out and Zeno's going to say, hey, I want this to happen, so let it happen. And so, like, at what point does Zeno say, hey, I want to allow killing? I don't think he will, because I think that he would if, for example, this the way that the show was handled was a little bit differently. The show can't really allow that level of gore and violence, just television laws and stuff. But to be fair, like, at what point does he just say, hey, this is going to happen because I want it to happen, and it's something insurmountably bad? Like, what happens there? But at the same time, I can't get too mad at Zeno, because I've honestly thought this whole time that no matter what happens, Zeno's going to say, hey, you guys did a great job. I'll bring back those other universes. Or, you know, a few universes survived. I'll let you all live, or something like that. I feel like something like that will happen at the end of this, which directly ties into the fact that Zeno can let whatever he wants happen. So, I don't know. I can't be too mad about that. But he does just say, hey, we can use Potara. And then some of the Gods of Destructions, along with their Kais, debate the possibility and, you know, of their angels and stuff, of being able to do it and if they should do it. And, of course, there was a derp in there with Heles's universe, and they weren't able to get the fusion done because they were in Kefla's way. They just got memed on hard. So I don't know if those guys are eliminated, but that's like a low-key, really quick way of eliminating two nobody characters from that universe. So we'll have to see. But I don't know if they fell out of the ring, but they never went back to that. So we didn't see the God pad get pressed or anything, so I don't know what's going on there. But again, Kefla is incredibly powerful. What level is Kefla? She's somewhere between blue and blue Kaioken. I don't know if that was times 10. I think it was just Kaioken. Like, he wasn't times 10, times 20. It was just, I think it was just blue Kaioken. And they say that Goku knew that he had to go to that form in order to fight. Now, he could have been 10, which I could be misremembering, but I think it was just blue. And, of course, he was low on power. So if he was at max power, they would have probably reached a stalemate. I don't know if Kefla would have actually been able to beat him. But to be fair, I don't know if Goku would have been able to beat her either. So it's cool to see that she's not insurmountably strong. I don't know why they say things like limitless power and stuff like last episode, when that's not really the case. It's a complete over-exaggeration, really. So, you know, if it was limitless power, she would just body Ultra Instinct, which it does look like, to be honest, because what's happening with Kefla's character is just like Caulifla, because she's basically Caulifla. She's not even Kale. She's just Caulifla. What's happening is that she is just completely progressing throughout the fight. That Saiyan instinct is just bubbling up inside of her, as she says in the episode there. And she's just basically, you know, progressing throughout fighting, just like Caulifla did, and just like Hit does. You know, it's really interesting, too, when you think about it, because Zenkai boosts are a thing, of course, for the Saiyan race, but it was something that had to occur post-fighting. These guys are just spontaneously just getting better. Now, of course, I can understand getting more in tune with the fight and adjusting in the middle of the fight and stuff like that, but they're literally making leaps and bounds in power. So that's what's happening with Kefla. So it's interesting to see the way that Kefla is basically here as a prop to prop Goku back into Ultra Instinct. Now, I'm not going to talk about anything that's in the spoilers for the next few episodes, but it is interesting to see that they basically brought this character out of nowhere. They pulled her out of their butts, but in order to allow Goku to go Ultra Instinct again, because there was nobody else in the arena that honestly could have pushed Goku here, aside from, you know, Frieza, Vegeta, or Jiren, right? I don't think Topo or Dispo could have done it. I definitely don't think they could have. There's nobody else there that could have done it. So when you look at it in that light, it makes sense if that was their goal. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this breakdown of the episode. Again, I thought it was a really good episode. There was a lot that I did like, and the episode animation wasn't as good as most of the last one. I feel like last episode got overstated because like 6 or 7 minutes in the middle of the episode just didn't look very good at all. You could tell there was different people working on it, but the rest of it looked great. So this episode did look pretty good for the most part. It didn't have that old DBZ type look like the last one did, though, which kind of is unfortunate. But anyways, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode review next week. Take it easy, guys.